Welcome to the Madison Miller podcast, coming to you from beautiful Aruba on this Monday, June 14th, 2021. It is Flag Day. I'm going to recap the weekend's NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs, Major League Baseball, WNBA, and look ahead to today and tomorrow's slate. We'll go over the French Open finals. We'll go over this past weekend's golf tournament, the NASCAR races. We'll go over the news and notes from the weekend and my best bet of the day. All right, we will start with the NBA playoffs as we will go over the results from Friday until yesterday and look ahead to tomorrow and Tuesday's games. And by the way, guys, I apologize in advance because I didn't get done the projections and all that. So I'm just going to apologize in advance. Hopefully I get them into you by Wednesday. 76ers over the Hawks, 127-111 to take a 2-1 series lead. Joel Embiid really looks healthy, so that's really good. Suns over the Nuggets, 116-102 to take a 3-0 series lead. And then Saturday, the Clippers defeated the Jazz in game number 3 to get back in the series as they come away with a solid victory by a score of 132-106. And then yesterday's results, Bucks over the Nets, 107-96, even up that series at 2 apiece. And the Suns over the Nuggets, 125-118 to complete the sweep as the Suns go to the first Western Conference Finals since 2010, back when Steve Nash was still on the Suns. And then tonight, you have 2 games, 7:30 TNT, the 76ers and the Hawks. Philly's favored by 3.5. The total in this game, let's hope I can still get FanDuel access here, as I am out of the country, obviously. I don't see a total yet for this game. And it is 226. So at gunpoint, my pick. That's a tough one. At gunpoint, I'll take the Hawks to even up the series at 2 tonight. They're home. I think that crowd's going to be electric. So give me the Hawks in the 3.5 plus 132 to win on the money line. And at 10 o'clock tonight, you have the Jazz at the Clippers. Game number 4. Clippers are 5-point favorites, total 223.5. I think the Jazz will play better in this game than they did in the previous game, but I'm going to go over 223.5 for the pick. I think that both these offenses will go toe-to-toe. Jazz and the over is a good parlay, but I think the Clippers will win the game, but it'll be close. So give me over 223.5 between the Jazz and the Clippers. And then Tuesday, you have Nets, Bucks, Game 5 from Barclays, 8:30 TNT. That's a late game for the Nets. I mean, 8:30. I mean, I would understand that if it's a Bucks home game, but such an odd time start for that game. I don't know why. Especially for a Brooklyn home game, maybe 8. Although the Celtics had a 9 o'clock game at home during the play-in tournament. So there's been East Coast teams at later starts before at home. Milwaukee's a 2.5-point favorite in Brooklyn. And that is obviously because of the injuries to James Harden and Kyrie Irving. So I think that I would have projected Milwaukee as a favorite here. Very slight, though. And they're favored by 3 on FanDuel. Total's 220. That's a low total. But because of the possibility of both Harden and Irving being out for this game, I'm going to take under 220 for my pick for that game. All right, so now we'll move on to the Stanley Cup playoffs, as we will go over the results from the weekend, look ahead to tomorrow and Tuesday. All right, so we'll start with Friday night. Or no, wait a minute. Friday and Saturday, we did not see Stanley Cup playoff games being played because all the series were over. Saturday would have been a potential Game 7 between Vegas and Colorado. Friday would have been, I think, Islanders-Bruins Game 7 if that series were to go 7. And yesterday, we had Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Islanders and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Almost had the Golden Knights out of it. Oops. And the Islanders came out on top by a score of 2-1 to take a 1-0 series lead as the Islanders continue this magical run that they've put together. And then tonight we have Game 1 between the Canadiens and the Golden Knights from Vegas, 9 o'clock on NBCSN. I don't know who's calling the games because I have not checked. But if I had to assume, it's probably Kenny Albert's group on the East and John Forslund on the West. Although Kenny Albert had Vegas in round 2 and John Forslund had the Islanders in round 2. But I wouldn't be shocked if it's flipped because, no offense to the Canadians, but Islanders Lightning I think would draw more attention. And I think it'd be, I think the NBC would have wanted Kenny Albert on Lightning Islanders because I think it's certain that Kenny Albert will be calling the Stanley Cup Finals this year just based on how the broadcasts have gone. Although it wouldn't shock me if Mike Tirico did the Stanley Cup Finals. I think Mike Tirico deserves an opportunity. Although I do think it's going to be Kenny Albert because Kenny Albert was recently named the top play-by-play guy for them on Turner. Once Turner gets the rights going into next season, them and obviously ABC. I think ABC's top guy will be Steve Levy, who is really a big hockey guy. I wouldn't rule out John Buchacross. I think Don LaGreca will see some reps. Or even Kenny Albert will end up doing both networks potentially because Kenny Albert is the the radio voice of the New York Rangers on ESPN 98.7. So I wouldn't rule out Kenny Albert getting an opportunity. And then I did mention Don LaGreca, who's the number 2 Rangers play-by-play announcer on the radio. So Kenny Albert being on ABC is not out of the realm of possibility, in my opinion. So back to Montreal, Vegas. Vegas is minus 265. Montreal's plus 220. Over under 5.5. Over plus 112. Under minus 156. Montreal plus 1.5 is minus 132. Vegas minus 1.5 is plus 110. I'm going Vegas plus 110, minus 1.5 for Game 1. I think Vegas is awesome. I think that this could be a mismatch. Carey Price may steal a game or 2 in the series, and I'm just going to give out my series pick for this as well. I'm going to pick Vegas in 5. It's plus 275 on FanDuel. On DraftKings. I do think Montreal will win 1 game at home because that fan base, I think, will rally them. I wouldn't even rule out the series going 6, and that would be plus 385. But I doubt this goes 6 or 7. That would really shock me. So, Vegas in 5, plus 275. Let's say the Canadiens steal Game 3 or Game 4 at home. Maybe they win 1 in overtime, like a fluky game in OT. But Vegas, to me, seems like the team to beat right now. So give me Vegas plus 275 to win in 5 games against Montreal. And I think they win tonight by multiple goals. So I'm going to lay the 1.5 plus 110. And then tomorrow night on NBCSN at 8 o'clock, you have the Islanders and the Lightning. Game 2. The Lightning are minus 175. Islanders plus 148. Over under 5. Overs minus 141. Unders plus 116. Islanders plus 1.5 is minus 195. Lightning minus 1.5 is plus 160. For this game, I'm going to go Tampa in regulation and even money. I think this is a bounce-back spot for them at home. They respond well to adversity, as we've seen so far in these playoffs and in past playoffs with this current group of players and with John Cooper. So I'm going to take Tampa plus 100, even money, to win tomorrow night in regulation. All right, now we'll move on to Major League Baseball, as we'll go over the scores from the weekend, and we'll look ahead to tomorrow and Tuesday. We will start with the results from Friday night. Cubs over the Cardinals 8-5. Giants over the Nationals 1-0. Marlins over the Braves 4-3. Rays over the Orioles 4-2. White Sox over the Tigers 5-4. In extras in 10. Reds over the Rockies 11-5. Mets over the Padres 3-2. Indians over the Mariners 7-0. Red Sox over the Blue Jays 6-5. Astros over the Twins 6-4. Brewers over the Pirates 7-4. Angels over the Diamondbacks 6-5 and 10. A's over the Royals 4-3, and the Dodgers over the Rangers 12-1. Saturday's results from the weekend. Phillies over the Yankees 8-7 and 10. Nats over the Giants 2-0 and 7. Doubleheader game 1. A's over the Royals 11-2. Angels over the Diamondbacks 8-7. Marlins over the Braves 4-2. Rays over the Orioles 5-4. White Sox over the Tigers 15-2. Brewers over the Pirates 7-4. Mets over the Padres 4-1. Indians over the Mariners 5-4 and 10. Blue Jays over the Red Sox 7-2. Reds over the Rockies 10-3. Twins over the Astros 5-2. Giants over the Nationals 2-1 and 8. Doubleheader game 2. Cubs over the Cardinals 7-2, and the Rangers over the Dodgers 12-1. Wow, I would not expect the Rangers to kick the Dodgers' ass like that. And then yesterday, Phillies over the Yankees 7-0. Nats over the Giants 5-0. Braves over the Marlins 6-4. Rays over the Orioles 7-1. White Sox over the Tigers 4-1. Reds over the Rockies 6-2. Padres over the Mets 7-3. Mariners over the Indians 6-2. Blue Jays over the Red Sox 18-4. Astros over the Twins 14-3. Brewers over the Pirates 5-2. Athletics over the Royals 6-3. Angels over the Diamondbacks 10-3. Dodgers over the Rangers 5-3. And on Sunday Night Baseball, the Cubs over the Cardinals 2-0. So the Cubs with an impressive sweep over the Cardinals from the weekend. All right. Tonight's games. 7 o'clock, ESPN. A good game on ESPN. The Cubs and the Mets. I don't think Jacob deGrom's pitching in this game, which sucks. I'm going to try to see if the pitchers could pop up here. Maybe if I could get it on the on DraftKings here. Let's see. It'd be nice if it was like DeGrom and like trying to think of who. Kyle Hendricks. That would be a good pitching matchup. Then you have the Pirates at the Nationals, the Orioles at the Indians, the Red Sox hosting the Blue Jays from Fenway, Reds at the Brewers at 8, Tigers at the Royals, Rays at the White Sox, Marlins at the Cardinals at 8:15, 8:40 Padres Rockies, 9:40 Angels A's, 9:45 Diamondbacks Giants, 10 o'clock Twins Mariners, and Phillies Dodgers. And then Tuesday's slate, so Monday Night Baseball back to ESPN now, and they have a Tuesday night game too, the Cubs and the Mets again, Pirates Nationals, Yankees Blue Jays, Orioles Indians, Red Sox Braves at 7:20, 8 o'clock Reds Brewers, Tigers Royals, Rays White Sox, Rangers Astros, 8:15 Marlins Cardinals, 8:30 Padres Rockies, 9:30 Angels A's, 9:45 Diamondbacks Giants, 10 o'clock Phillies Dodgers, and Twins against the Mariners. Alrighty, now we'll do WNBA as we will recap the weekend's games, and we'll look ahead to Tuesday's games because the W doesn't play on Mondays. That is their day off for the time being so far this season. So we'll look at the W results. Storm over the Dream, 86-75. Wings over the Mercury, 77-59. Saturday, Commissioner's Cup game. Sky over the Fever, 83-79. And the Lynx over the Sparks, 80-64. And then Sunday was a big slate. Liberty over the Mercury, 85-83. Storm over the Sun, 89-66. Commissioner's Cup, Dream over the Mystics, 101-78. And Commissioner's Cup, Aces over the Wings, 85-78. Tuesday's games, there's 3 of them. 7 o'clock, you have the Storm and the Fever. 9 o'clock, ESPN 2. Sky Lynx, 2 underachieving teams so far. And then 10 o'clock on ESPN 3, you have the Liberty and the Aces. Okay, now we'll do French Open results from the weekend. It was an interesting French Open finals, to say the least. We will start on the men's side of things. Friday semifinals, Novak Djokovic over Rafael Nadal in 4 sets, and Stefanos Tsitsipas over Alexander Zverev in 5 sets. And then the final, Novak Djokovic over Stefanos Tsitsipas in 5 sets, and it was a great match, to say the least. And then the women's final from Saturday, Barbora Krejcikova over Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova in 3 sets, and that was a great final as well. So congratulations to Novak Djokovic and the Cinderella Barbora Krejcikova on their wins at the French Open. So that was a fun tournament, to say the least. And then obviously we will cover the next tournament on the podcast when the time comes. Okay. Now we'll do the results from this weekend's golf tournament, which was the Palmetto Champs. We're just going to go through the notables. From this tournament, and obviously discuss who won and everything. So, without further ado, here we go. Your winner of this tournament with the score of 11 under, Garrick Higo. So, congratulations to him. Tied for second with 10 under, Doc Redmond, Bo Van Pelt, Tyrell Hatton, Jason Headley, Jonathan Vegas, and Hudson Swafford. Tied for 8th with 9 under, Ryan Armour and David Lipsky. Now I'm just going to go through notables. Tied for 10th with 8 under, Dustin Johnson, Matt Fitzpatrick, Evan Van Rooyen, and Pat Perez. Tied for 14th with 7 under, Chester V, Harry English, Will Gordon. Tied for 19th with 6 under, Danny Lee, Seasmith Power. Tied for 25th with 5 under, Ian Poulter, Henrik Norlander. Tied for 31st with 4 under, Lucas Donald, C.T. Pond. Tied for 35th with 3 under, Russell Knox, Sanjay M, Tommy Fleetwood. Tied for 44th with 2 under, Nate Taylor. Tied for 50th with 1 under, Patrick Rogers, J.B. Holmes. Tied for 52nd at even, Byung Hun An, Roger Sloan. Tied for 60th with 3 over, Tyler Duncan. Tied for 57th with 2 over Mark Cover. We missed that one. 67th was 7 over Adam Putnam. And those that were cut: Alex Naren, Kevin Mitchell, Brooks Koepka. That was a bad pick by me. Guess he's looking ahead to the U.S. Open. Didn't even think of that. Harold Varner III, J.T. Potson, Lucas Glover, J.J. Spawn, Bo Hogg, and a couple withdrawals as well, but nobody of note. And obviously the U.S. Open will be held from the 17th to the 20th. So on the podcast on Wednesday, I'll make my pick for the U.S. Open. All right, now I'm going to do NASCAR from the weekend. It was All-Star Weekend from Texas. We're going to start with the Truck Series results. That race was held on Saturday, and your winner, John Hunter Nemechek. Second, Chase Elliott. Third, Grant Effinger. Fourth, Austin Hill. Fifth, Chandler Smith. Sixth, Zane Smith. Seventh, Todd Gilliland. Eighth, Tyler Ankrum. Ninth, Tanner Gray. 10th, Josh Berry. So my pick of Zane Smith came in sixth. The rest of the bunch: Carson Hocevar, Johnny Sauter, Derek Kraus, Brendan Poole, Austin Wayne South, Ryan Truex, Chase Purdy, Corey Roper, Tyler Hill, Matt Crafton, Dawson Cram, Chris Wright, Howie DeSavino, Haley Deegan, Tate Fogelman, Ben Rhodes, Spencer Boyd, Jesse Iwuji, Keith McGee, Norm Benning, Jennifer Jo Cobb, Ray Ciccarelli, Drew Dollar, Stuart Friesen, Sheldon Creed, and Ross Chasen. And the Xfinity results from Texas. And your winner of that race, Kyle Busch. Second, Justin Allgaier. Third, Austin Cindric. Fourth, Daniel Hemrick. That was my pick, if I'm not mistaken. Fifth, Brandon Jones. Sixth, AJ Allmendinger. Seventh, Noah Gragson. Eighth, Brett Moffitt. Ninth, Justin Haley. 10th, Michael Annett. The rest: Ryan Sieg, Brandon Brown, Jeremy Clements, Landon Castle, Jade Buford, Josh Williams, Alex Labb, Josh Berry, David Starr, Tommy Joe Martins, Ronnie Bassett Jr., Brandon Godvick, Ryan Vargas, Garrett Smithley, Matt Mills, Matt Jaskell, Colby Howard, Jesse Little, Harrison Burton, Joe Graff Jr., Jed Burton, Matt Snyder, Jordan Anderson, Stephon Parsons, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Kyle Weatherman, Greg Golding, Tanner Berryhill, and Bailey Curry. And now I'm going to do the Cup Open results before I do the All-Star race results. In first place in the Open, let's see here. Can't even find it. So, stage 1 was Ross Chasen, Tyler Reddick, Corey LaJoie, Matt DiBenedetto, Eric Almirola, Anthony Alfredo, Austin Cindric, Chris Buescher, Bubba Wallace, and Chase Briscoe. And then Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Justin Haley, Cody Ware, Quinn Houff, James Davison, David Starr, BJ McClay, Garrett Smithley, Josh Bilicki, Timmy Hill, Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez. Trying to find the actual Open, because that was stage 1. And now, let's say the All-Star race. Now the All-Star race results. Now I'm trying to find it. Here's the final results from the All-Star race. Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Alec Bowman, William Byron, Eric Almirola, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, Chris Bell, Michael McDowell, Martin Truex Jr., Cole Custer, Kevin Harvick, Tyler Reddick, Matt DiBenedetto, Ross Chase, and Austin Dillon, Ryan Newman, Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin was my pick. What a mess. Oof. But yeah, I couldn't find the stage 2 laps reopened, guys. I'm sorry about that. Alrighty. Before I go to news and notes, I want to do an NHL mock draft, which I forgot to do on the podcast on Friday because I did not have time to do it, so I'll do it on today's show. So, without further ado, here we go. Number 1, Buffalo Sabres, Owen Power, defenseman, Michigan, NCAA. Power is the consensus choice among experts and people around the league to go first overall. The Sabres here at the first overall pick for the second time in 4 years get another top-pair defenseman to go with Rasmus Dahlin for the future. 2, the Seattle Kraken. Matthew Beniers, center, Michigan, NCAA. The second overall pick here I have being yet another Michigan Wolverine product, this time the center in Beniers. He stood out in his first college season being a point-per-game player, and he is someone that is a good skater. 3, the Anaheim Ducks. Dylan Guenther, right wing, Edmonton, WHL. The Ducks need some youth injected into their organization, so they have a lot of choices here. Guenther was a points machine in the WHL, and he has the ability to shoot from anywhere, and that's what makes him dynamic. 4, the New Jersey Devils. Brant Clark, defenseman, Barrie, OHL. The Devils should go defense here due to the fact that they have some dynamic young forwards that are already on the upswing. Clark is somebody that is a great two-way player who is very careful with the way he plays. 5, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Simone Edvinsson, defenseman, Frölunda, SHL. This pick would make a ton of sense for the Blue Jackets, who might be targeting this position due to a possible departure of Seth Jones. Evansson's game is reminiscent of Jones's due to his mobility and ability to create chances for himself and teammates. 6, the Detroit Red Wings. Jesper Wallstedt, goaltender, Loia, Swedish League. The Red Wings are in dire need of a goalie of the future, and Wallstedt has potential to be one. He has the calmness and control to be a successful goalie in the league, and he tracks pucks very well. 7, the San Jose Sharks. William Eklund, center, Desjardins, Sweden. The Sharks are a team that needs an injection of youth in the worst way. Eklund is somebody that has top offensive skills, has shown some physicality, and does some of the little things that teams like. 8, the Los Angeles Kings. Luke Hughes, defenseman, USA Under-18, USHL. Getting Hughes at 8th overall would be a huge steal for the Kings. Many people have compared Hughes to his brother Quinn due to his skating ability and getting the puck in the right spots. 9, the Vancouver Canucks. Kent Johnson, center, Michigan, NCAA. The third Michigan player goes off the board here at Johnson, who would be a nice fit with the Canucks. He is a solid playmaker and has shown versatility as well as puck-carrying ability. Number 10, the Ottawa Senators. Matthew Coronado, right wing, Chicago, USHL. The Sens here go with Coronado to add to their young forward collection. Coronado is somebody that is a dominant offensive force with the puck and has a physical approach and is a strong skater. 11, the Chicago Blackhawks. Carson Lambos, defenseman, Winnipeg, WHL. The Blackhawks have options here at this selection, and here I have them selecting Lambos. He is a two-way defenseman that has good patience in the defensive zone and in transition. 12, the Calgary Flames. Fabian Lysell, left wing, Luleå, Sweden. The Flames can go anywhere at this selection, and here I have them selecting the talented forward in Lysell. He has shown good craft in his game and has great speed and skill as well. 13, the Philadelphia Flyers. Mason McTavish, center, Peterborough, OHL. The Flyers have a lot of promising youth in their organization, and here I have them going with the center in McTavish. He has the feistiness that teams like and has shown strength in battles along the boards. 14, the Dallas Stars. Corson Kuhlmans, defenseman, Brooks, AJHL. The Stars are a team that should be targeting defense in this round. Kuhlmans is somebody that is an outstanding skater who can lead rushes into offensive zones in transition and also has good mobility. 15, the New York Rangers. Brennan Othman, left wing, Flint, OHL. The Rangers have one of the most promising young group of talent in the entire league, and they add another young gun in Othman. He is a two-way player that has a lot of physicality in his game, and that is what the young Rangers can use. 16, the St. Louis Blues. Isaac Rosen, left wing, right wing, Lick Sands, SHL. The Blues are a team that needs some scoring with David Perron being a free agent and Vladimir Tarasenko having shoulder issues. Rosen lacks size but is an offensive force. 17, the Nashville Predators. Cole Sillinger, center, Sioux Falls, USHL. The Predators are a team that could use some young blood, and here I have them picking Sillinger. He has a strong offensive presence and has strong playmaking abilities. 18, the Edmonton Oilers. Sebastian Cossa, goaltender, Edmonton, WHL. Goaltending has been a major long-term issue for the Oilers for some time now, and here I have them taking the in-town kid in Cossa. He has excellent size and athleticism to be a starting goalie in the league. 19, the Minnesota Wild. Simon Robertson, right wing, Skellefteå, J20. The Wild are coming off a successful season, and I have them adding a nice and talented wing in Robertson. He is somebody that is capable of being in a top 6 and has excellent vision for the game. 20, the Columbus Blue Jackets from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Auru Roddy, center, Karpat, Liga. Roddy was someone that a while ago was thought out to be in play for the number 1 overall pick, but his stock plummeted due to underperforming this past season. Rady has promising offensive abilities and is a good skater. 21, the Detroit Red Wings from the Washington Capitals. Sasha Patsajov, left wing, U.S. National Team Development Program, USHL. With their second first-rounder, the Red Wings take the winger in Pastajov. He is one of the most patient players in this class with an ability to show up in clutch games. Or to show up clutch in games. 22, the Minnesota Wild from the Pittsburgh Penguins. Danilo Chaika, defenseman, Gulf, OHL. With their second first-rounder, the Wild get more depth for their organization with Chaika. He's a reliable two-way defender with long reach. Number 23, the Florida Panthers. Xavier Borgault, center, Shawinigan, QMJHL. The Panthers have some choices here. In this mock, I have them taking the talented center in Borgault. He has an offensive presence that is fearless in his drive to the high-danger areas. 24, the Winnipeg Jets. Carson Lambos, defenseman, Winnipeg, WHL. The Jets go with the in-city kid here with Lambos with their selection. Due to a leg injury, his stock plummeted, so if he gets back to that level or close, this pick could be a steal. 25, the Boston Bruins. Zachary Lahirix, center, left wing, Halifax, QMJHL. The Bruins have choices here. In this pick, I have them taking Lahirix. He has high-end offensive skill in his finishing ability and has a knack for getting under an opponent's skin. 26, the Carolina Hurricanes. Logan Stankoven, center, right wing, Kamloops, WHL. The Hurricanes are just picking for value and depth at this point as they pose one of the league's best rosters. One of the most complete players in this class, Stankoven plays hard every shift and makes up for his size with great skating ability and an excellent shot. 27, the Colorado Avalanche. Oscar Aluson, right wing, HV71, SHL. The Avalanche are coming off a disappointing playoff series loss against the Vegas Golden Knights, and they can use some more depth. Allison is a confident player that has some speed in his game, both in his feet and hands. 28, the Montreal Canadiens. Chaz Lucius, center, United States National Development Program, USHL. The Canadiens are in the midst of a magical run to the Stanley Cup semifinals, but this team still needs help. Lucius has the ability to get to the high danger areas, which is impressive, and his shot is high-end. 29, the New Jersey Devils from the New York Islanders. Zachary Bolduc, center, Rimowski, QMJHL. The Devils go offense with their second first rounder as they go with Bolduc. He has the speed and hockey smarts that would have teams excited. 30, the Columbus Blue Jackets from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Samu Tomala, right wing, Karpat, Liga. With their third first rounder, the Jackets go with Tomala. He brings a ton of energy that the fans always enjoy and is a fast player. And 31, the Vegas Golden Knights, Benjamin Gaudreau, goaltender, Sarnia, OHL. The Golden Knights here go with the possible heir apparent to Marc-Andre Fleury with Gaudreau. He played at an advanced level in the U18 Worlds, leading the Canadian team to the gold medal, and that shows that he could be a quality starter in the league. Obviously, that's assuming that they move on from Robin Lehner. And they also have the other kid in the AHL, who is pretty promising as well. Now I'm going to do news and notes. A lot of stuff to get to, obviously. Jarvis Landry says, Odell Beckham better than before. He's even better than he was last year. We'll see about that as he comes off the injury. Blazers top head coach candidates, Portland's eyeing Chauncey Billups, Becky Hammon, Dawn Staley, Mike D'Antoni, and Brent Berry. I don't see how an executive gets a head coaching job. That's like a step down, even though Steve Kerr did it pretty much. He was the GM of the Suns, and then he went into broadcasting, and then he became a head coach with the Warriors a couple years later. But if I had to make a pick, I'd say Mike D'Antoni would be the best pick. I think that the Spurs want to hold on to their people, and I honestly think Becky Hammon's going to be the next coach of the San Antonio Spurs. I think I've said that on the podcast in the past. Maybe an activity I'll do on the podcast next week. I'll predict who each team's sports coaches are going to be 5 years from now, and it'll look back and see how I do. Maybe 5's a little too much. Maybe 2 or 3 years. I think 2 years is more realistic. So maybe I'll do that. So that's kind of funny to just predict who will be coaching where. Kid stunned by Novak Djokovic's gift as a young fan erupts with excitement when Novak Djokovic handed him a racket after he won the French Open. That is awesome stuff. MLB injuries. Jacob deGrom had a clean MRI after being removed from the game on Friday. And everything came back clean, and he's still expected to make his next start, which is good news. And his next start will probably be Wednesday or Thursday, depending on when they play. Max Muncy placed on the injured list with the right oblique strain as a loss for the Dodgers. Ronald Acuna removed from the game against the Marlins yesterday with right pectoral tightness. That would be a big loss for the Braves. Big reason why that team has not lived up to the expectations this season, the on and off injuries of Ronald Acuna Jr. To me, the two teams that are most disappointing in baseball this season are the Yankees and Atlanta. It isn't even close. Luis Severino helped off the field in a high-A rehab start after suffering a leg injury. And it says it's a groin injury and he'll have an MRI. Hopefully he'll be okay because the Yankees could use some help ASAP. So Kyrie Irving left the game yesterday due to an ankle injury. And the x-ray was negative and will undergo further testing and treatment. Jeff Green came back for Brooklyn yesterday against the Bucks. And James Harden did not play in Game 4. Danny Green out 2 to 3 weeks due to a right calf strain. That's a big loss for Philly. And that is somebody that would always have the big playoff moments in his career, experience, big shots. Steven Stamkos calls himself out after the Game 1 loss. He owns up to a costly turnover. I need to be better in that situation. I mean, he's right, but at the same time, if that turnover doesn't happen, maybe the Islanders still find a way to win. There's a report that came out that Le'Veon Bell refuses to play for Andy Reid. And he says, I'd retire first. And then he clears the air and says that he doesn't regret his statements about Andy Reid, but loved his time with the Chiefs. Oof. Javier Baez had a massive popcorn bag as he and the Cubs appeared to be enjoying one of the biggest popcorn bags we've ever seen. I love those types of highlights. Denmark, Finland suspended as UEFA suspends Denmark-Finland Euro 2020 match after Christian Eriksen collapsed on pitch. As he is in stable condition and remains hospitalized for further examination. Hopefully Eriksen gets well soon. Adesanya retains his title as the minus 286 favorite, dominates against Marvin Vettori to defend his middleweight title via unanimous decision. A couple more items here. The Nets bodyguard discipline, who broke up the KD-PJ Tucker clash, will not work on court in Brooklyn or in any games in Milwaukee. Ja Morant hinting at the dunk contest as the Grizzlies star looks like he's getting ready for the 2022 contest after posting a video of a tough dunk. Chris Paul hugs his mom after the big win yesterday as the Sun star celebrates a sweep by jumping into the stands and embracing his mom. That's sweet. And he speaks upon the doubters. A couple years ago, they were writing me off. And Nuggets head coach Mike Malone says Chris Paul could arguably be the greatest point guard of all time after the Suns eliminate the Nuggets, which was very, very strong words coming from the Nuggets coach. We'll see what happens with Mike Malone, by the way. Wouldn't be shocked if he got fired. But I think that he comes back because they're going to use the Jamal Murray injury for the excuse. And Nikola Jokic got ejected last night with the flagrant 2 foul. And he goes, I wanted to change the rhythm of the game, so I tried to make a hard foul. Oof, well, that pretty much cost them Game 4. Not that they were going to win the series anyway and come back from 3-0 because nobody ever does it. Alrighty, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by DraftKings. Obviously, it's not your typical best bet because of the circumstances I'm currently in. I can't really bet on best bet, but I'll just give out best bets this week. So from what I'm looking at right now, there's a lot of inflated numbers that I would like. But one I kind of like is the over 8.5 in the Marlins-Cardinals game at minus 112. It's Braxton Garrett against Adam Wainwright. I think that there could be a lot of offense in this game. This could be a 6-3 game. So I like over 8.5, minus 112 between the Marlins and the Cardinals for tonight. All right, so there you have it for the podcast today. I'll be back on Wednesday recapping everything from today and tomorrow, looking ahead to Wednesday and Thursday's action and everything. We'll make a pick for the U.S. Open. I'll do my 2020 NHL redraft. I'll have news and notes for you. And obviously, best bet as well. Hope you guys have a great couple days, everyone.